Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, the start time for the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade changes twice in a matter of hours. The JCNP chairman talks the Junkanoo judging system, what the Labor Minister hopes to see in the new year, plus Nikki J talks with the man they call Barabbas.
Our news is brought to you by Alive, the nation's newest and best LTE network.
Good to be alive.
A very Merry Christmas to you and welcome to our news. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Thanks for joining us on this Christmas holiday. Topping news tonight, Junkanooers have one extra day to get their costumes together for the big dance on Bay Street. The 2017 Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade, scheduled to get started tonight at 10, has been moved to tomorrow night at 6 p.m. due to weather. Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence Chairman Silbert Ferguson said the decision was made during a special meeting Sunday night after meteorologists warned that rain is expected for much of Christmas Day at night. Their decision Sunday night was to move the parade to 8 p.m. Tuesday, but that time changed again this morning when an all-clear was given to have the parade begin at 6 p.m. tomorrow. So again, the new start time for the 2017 Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade is 6 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday, December 26. So what will happen to those who have to report to work Wednesday morning? Culture Minister Michael Pintard Sunday night urged business owners to be supportive.
We have arrived at a decision that we believe will work for all of the stakeholders. We are asking members of the business community to be supportive of what is the primary cultural expression in the Bahamas in terms of being lenient with those persons who work in their establishments, to also be supportive of this parade. We understand clearly that the following day is a work day. The police has given us their assurance they will do everything possible to make sure that we move very quickly at the end of the parade and ensuring that the costumes are safely returned to the various shots. And so we're asking all the Bahamians to let's support.
Well, once the parade starts, the Valley Boys will be coming out first for the A category. They will be followed by the Genesis Warhawks and then the Shell Saxon Superstars. But every year there's a concern about the judging system. However, the JCNP chairman insists there is no reason to doubt it.
I think one of the things we do every year is try to get it a little better. And just let me say that judging is very subjective, and so it's your opinion, okay? And it's not the opinion of who think it should be like this or who think it should be like that. The reason we train our judges, we train them to look for it. I just want to make this very clear. The Junkanoo groups train the judges, okay? Okay, and so we tell them what to look for, we tell them how to apply the rules, and so we are ultimately responsible.
He said this year there is a pool of 50 trained and qualified judges who know what to look for, but what makes it a bit tough, especially when it comes to groups receiving penalties, the overall score will once again be out of 100%. 100.
Right. Everything is out of 100, and you know, our judges are now clear with that point, you know, because the percentages that are on the scorecards are for the tally room. And, you know, we have orchestrated a really, really great tally room session this year as well. You know, we hope to get everything functioning properly. Our teams have been on red alert for the last 2 weeks because we don't want anything interfering with these parades that not ought to be in these parades. And so our task force and our marshal teams, everybody is on red alert. And we will be making sure that everything in these parades run as smoothly as they possibly can.
This year's parade is expected to be very competitive in both the A and B categories.
As you know, this is going to be a dogfight this year. You know, we have the 5 big groups, and the Music Makers and Prodigal Sons will be re-entering the arena because they missed last year because of Hurricane Matthew. And so they have something to prove as well. And so we're going to have a dogfight. And of course, in the B division, you have Colors and the original Congos and the fancy dances, Conquerors for Christ, and then you have the fancy dancers and the Redland Soldiers. They're also fighting for that top prize.
Minister of Labor Dion Folk says he is hopeful that the minister's administration will have some good news on the labor front early in the new year. Folk says while this year may have been a difficult one for many Bahamians, he is confident that things will improve in 2018. Jasmine Brown reports.
There's a lot of good news that will be coming out the early part of the year, and we are hopeful that the employment rate will pick up.
Since taking office in May, the Minnis administration has been heavily criticized for a series of layoffs in the public service, months and in some cases weeks before Christmas. Just this month, Minister of Public Service and National Insurance Brenzel Roll denied the government was purging the public service after downsizing at several government agencies across the country. Roll's comments followed the termination of 30 contract workers in the Department of Inland Revenue last month. The gaming board disengaged 30 people throughout the month of November. 18 people were sent home in early November, and another dozen employees were terminated on November 27th. The National Health Insurance Secretariat has also sent home customer service representatives, while the Ministry of Tourism sent home staff on Grand Bahama and New Providence. Folks acknowledge it hasn't been an easy year for many.
I know this year has been difficult for many Bahamians and many Bahamian families, but I wish to assure Bahamians generally throughout the Bahamas that next year will be better.
According to the latest labor statistics that were released in August, the national unemployment rate dropped by 1.7% from 11.6% in October 2016 to 9.9% in April. The results that were released by the Department of Statistics provide information on the labor force during the period April 24th to April 30th, 2017. Folks says overall he and his team have been able to work amicably with unions and employers to iron out issues, a trend he hopes will continue next year.
Speak to the Chamber of Commerce and the employers in the country who have also been very open and very receptive to working out industrial issues.
Reporting for R News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
You're watching the best of Bahamian news. There is more when R News returns.